welcome back to the channel. I'm a little bit under the weather at the moment. Kind of got a little ear infection thing going on, but the weather's too nice outside to not get some work done out in the fields. So this fall, in our four-wheel drive when we were doing tillage, we had marked some flags of where rocks are out in the fields. So I'm gonna get those with the flash drive out of the four-wheel drive and send those to my phone. That way I can go find those rocks out in the fields. Here's the four-wheel drive all nestled away, ready for winter. We're gonna hop in the cab so we can get that data out of there. Normally the data and the flags that I create inside the computer display here in the cab get automatically sent to my phone, but for some reason when I looked through this morning they weren't there, so I'm just gonna pop this thumb drive in. That way I can retrieve these flags to go know exactly where they're GPS marked out in the fields. Total of 1,515 files that I'm exporting to the flash drive. Then I'll bring this to my computer. The files are being transferred to the USB flash drive. I'll run up to the office, pop that into the computer. They'll upload to Operations Center. Then they'll get back downloaded to my phone. That way when I'm in the 6150 or the bucket tractor locating the rocks, I'll have GPS to know exactly where I gotta go to find the rocks that we had marked. Alright, it says all the files are transferred to my flash drive, so I'll pull that out, shut the key off, and hopefully everything we need is right on here. The data off that thumb drive is getting uploaded to John Deere Operations Center right now. What you can think of John Deere Operations Center like is kind of like Amazon. So whether you sign in from your phone, your computer, your tablet, your cart, and your search history are all going to be the same. That's kind of similar to John Deere Operations Center, where it's showing us all of our equipment, the location, all of our fields. So right now, what I'm trying to do with this USB is take that data off of our physical tractor, move it to the computer, which will then move it to my phone. That way I can see where the new flags are that we made this fall. The GPS coordinates of the flags for the rocks just got synced to my phone. So let's head on over to the shop to get the 6150 out so we can head on out to the field. Now that I got all the flags on my phone, it's time to get the tractor out so we can start locating the rocks. Normally in years prior we would just use our regular bucket on the tractor to go out and pick rocks, but last spring we picked up this thing right here, this nice MDS rock bucket. It's got a grapple on it as well. This thing works slick to get rocks, especially because with the regular bucket you get a fair amount of dirt that comes with the rock, but with this thing, since there's slots out at the bottom, you don't get all that mud and dirt brought up as well. So I'm gonna unhook from the regular bucket and hook up to this rock bucket to head out to the field. I'm all hooked up now to the rock bucket. Let's give it a try to make sure the hydraulic grapple portion of it's gonna work. First rock we're gonna go get is down there by that pond. We're at that field around our place. It's not a huge rock, but I had it mapped and pinned since last spring, so it's time to get that one out of here. Now that I got that rock in the bucket, I figured I'd walk down. Since we're at that field where that pond is, one of you guys, the viewers, said that once I get 1,000 subscribers, I should take a pull or plunge inside this pond. Well, we're not there yet, at least not at the making of this video, and it's far too cold to jump into this pond. I grabbed a small rock to show you the thin crust of ice that's already setting on top of this pond. That rock broke through, but I threw a couple other ones down while I was up there, and those ones didn't break through, so you can see they're sitting on top of the sheet of ice. I'll have to think of something to do for our 1,000 subscriber achievement. If you have any ideas, let me know down below in the comments. We're gonna keep on trucking, finding rocks, and getting these fields cleaned up before spring. Made it to the next field. You can see here on my phone these two little red flags, one there, one there. Those are the rocks I gotta go pick up, so let's head on into the field and try to find them. Still does bring up, unfortunately, a fair amount of dirt. So we're gonna pull all this dirt off of here. That way when I dump these rocks back in the yard, I don't get a huge clump of dirt in the middle of the yard as well. Got the whole front of the rock bucket cleaned off. That's all the rocks I had marked at these 2 fields closest to our farm place. So I'll go drop these 2 rocks off in the yard, and then we'll head out to some different farms. I got those rocks dropped off in the yard. Now I'm heading up to a different farm where we have 1 rock just 20 yards in from the road. So I'm gonna head in the field and get that. But surprisingly, this is the last rock. I was surprised when I went through my phone to look at the flags. We had a total of 5 rocks that we'd marked from this fall. So maybe it's just the drought, but I can't complain because picking rock is never the most fun job. There's the rock. It's hard to see because it's a dark, discolored one. That's the last rock that I gotta pick up for the year. Running this skeleton bucket to pick up rocks is kind of fun because it's kind of like a grab machine game where you go into the rock and you hope you grab it, and you're not really sure till the claw comes up or when I raise the bucket to know for sure if I got the rock. So here I go on trying to get the last rock of the year. I can't, and I missed it. Got him. There he is. Not huge, but something I wouldn't want to meet with the planter next spring. So we'll run him back up to the farm place as well. Well, now we should be all done using the skeleton bucket for the year, so I'm going to put that back down on the pallets, put that in a shed for winter. Now that I got the skeleton bucket and the tractor put away in the machine shed, I came down here to the bench site. I got something I forgot to do the other day at the very top of the leg. We have a distributor fan, so basically a fan that blows air down all of our pipes. That way no fines or residue can set up and start to rot away at our galvanized pipes. And that fan has a cover, and that cover right here actually blew down off the leg the other day. So I'm gonna shimmy up the leg to put this cover on for the winter. This is actually my first time since prior to harvest to look inside the distributor. Last year we had a bunch of problems with our distributor, so that's why we put on this new Schlagel one. Let's see what the inside of this looks like. Significantly less bees wings and fines in the distributor compared to what we've seen in the past. A little bit of corn built up back here, but overall I'm impressed with this for year one. Here you can kind of see the reason why I want to put a cover on this fan. Right now this motor isn't on, but it's windy enough that it's causing the propellers to spin. And at least with the cover on here, those propellers won't spin and it won't ruin the motor prematurely. I got the cover on, and while I was putting the cover on, I noticed, if you guys can see that little bit of smoke right there, that's about 30 miles away. And what that smoke is coming from what I heard on the news, is there's a grain elevator fire. The last thing I gotta do down at the bench site is right here. And that's to take our harvestometer from 100 all the way back to 0. Because as one season of farming ends, the next begins, as we're already starting to make seed, chemical, and fertilizer decisions for next year. But before we do, right now is the season of giving thanks. So make sure you give thanks to your friends, your family, and all the farmers you know. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll see ya in the next one.